Sup, you Eurovision fools? It's Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and we are back. Mad to the ESC United live stream where we always talk about, you guessed it right, Eurovision. And if you want to get more of that stuff, you know how it works. Hit subscribe and like this video right away because that helps us always to boost the video. But today, once again, it's a very special episode. We are talking Eurovision 2021, the ESC United panel jury where we rank them all. This is episode 3, and we got 10 more songs to go through and take them apart kindly, and then I'll share our scores. And of course, I would love to hear from you as well what your thoughts are. And I don't have to do this alone. I got my buddy Sean here. You ready to do this?
Yeah, back again. Let's do it.
Back again. By popular demand. And awesome demand. Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's a nice thing to say. And of course, I got Roy. How are you?
Yeah,
hello.
I'm doing great. Yeah, well, that's more German. Okay, hello. Yes, I'm good. Yeah, I'm excited to be in a live stream again. It's been a while.
It's been a minute, yes, and we got here Arnaud with us as well.
Hey.
Well, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited. This is my very first live stream, so I can't wait to do this with you guys.
No pressure, everyone in the chat. Please be nice to him, because I'm not usually. So, thanks everyone in the chat for all of your support in the past. And of course, today I see a lot of hello from Estonia, from Heini, hello from Germany, from Yannick, and hello from Finland, from Hike. And so glad to have you all here. We have 10 songs to go through, and the past couple of videos we kind of went over. So I think we should not waste any more time and go right through them. And I hope you're ready, because I sure am. So, with no further ado, let's talk about the first country that we're going... Actually, let me hold that thought. It makes sense to look at the scoreboard as of right now and see where things are. Let me bring that up real quick. So, as of today, we got 10 more songs that we'll add to that list, but as of right now, France is at the top, Portugal at the bottom. I'm going to ask you first, Roy. How do you feel about this ranking so far?
I think it's rather accurate. It's a bit unfortunate that my favorite is not very far up, but yeah, it's interesting to see how big of a gap France has to Lithuania. I thought it would be a little bit smaller, maybe flipped around, but yeah, I think it makes sense so far.
Yeah, how about you, Arno? When you look at that list, you're kind of like, okay, I can see where this is going, or do you like, this is outrageous?
No, I think it's really, really accurate, and it mixes with like the fans, the community tastes. And well, I'm very happy to see France at the top, of course. And yeah, well, for the rest, yeah, I agree with some of the countries in the bottom, and I agree with countries in the top.
Okay. Now keep in mind, everyone, that this is Team United ranking. So the entire staff, or those who wanted to vote, provided their ranking, and this is how we arrived, basically the average. So let's now jump ahead to the first country of the evening, which is Belgium. And yes, somebody's got to go first. This time it's Belgium. Hooverphonic is back with a new lineup, which technically is the old original lineup. So the band was selected to represent Belgium last year with Release Me. And after the cancellation of the 2020 contest, they asked to be returned, and they accepted. But the lead singer, Luca, was let go, and original singer, Geike, she returned to the band. She is now going to perform The Wrong Place, and joined on stage, of course, by her band members, Alex and Raymond. Now, Belgium is an original member of the contest, joining in 1956, but only won the contest once in 1986. Now, Belgium will perform in the first semifinal from position 11. So now it's a time where we're going to discuss what our thoughts are before we give our points, of course. In terms of what I feel about the song is, I remember yesterday I was in my grandpa chair, it's like one of those recliners, you know, but I think of grandpa sitting in there, and I was putting on the playlist, and Belgium came on. I'm like, oh my God, this song is so good. I always underappreciate the song when I first hear it, because it is one of the most pleasant songs in the running. Melodically, there's just something about it. I usually call it like the best grown-up song of the year. By that I mean it may not be the most catchy, in-your-face pop tune, but it has a lot of quality and understated, intricate moments that a lot of maybe people look past it. And I'm actually surprised it does as well with the Eurovision bubble as it does, because it just shows there's a lot of quality there. I will actually go as far as saying this could be a dark horse. I'm not saying about winning by all means, but I'm saying dark horse as in potentially being a top 10 or higher at Eurovision. I think it just a certain quality. It screams like jury support as well. But the goodness is there is a niche also within the televote, I guess. So I feel good about it. It's not in your face. It's a little bit more subtle, but it's a kind of its own in the running, and that is a beneficial place to be in, I think, because you want to be kind of standing out, but still kind of fitting in a certain way. And Belgium delivers from that perspective. So I have a good feeling about Belgium this year, and I like the song very, very much. How about you, Sean?
I think Hooverphonic's an interesting one because they didn't do themselves any favours with the fans last year. I think that's clear to say. Obviously, it was a Europe Shine a Light, and they were the only ones who didn't want to really participate in that side of things. So I know that doesn't make a difference at Eurovision. Don't get me wrong. So I think they've done really well to actually sort of turn the Eurovision fans' favour around on them. I think returning to the original lineup for a lot of people, because they're a well-known band in Europe, and I think returning to that lineup probably helped with the Eurovision fans who know them, and probably gives them a bit more of a nostalgic feel, I guess. I'm pleased to say this song is leaps and bounds, light years ahead of Release Me from last year for me. It's got a great build, and the melody is really nice. I like the driving beat throughout it. I think that the vocal sort of trickery throughout the song and the hooks that are, sort of interspersed here and there, they're in quite interesting places, especially when the repetition of Last Night. I mean, using night as repetition in music is, it's one of the oldest tricks in the book. People always remember it for some reason or another. I think people are going to really enjoy this. I think Belgium have a niche in the sort of dark side of things, Bond songs and sort of darker feel. So they're sticking to what they're good at, basically, which is going to help them because they know what they need to do at Eurovision. But yeah, from a personal level, I just have to say this really snuck up on me, surprised me. I was replaying it so often, and I really wasn't expecting to. So I think it can hit people in different tastes and have a broad appeal that people might not expect, which obviously helps it. The only thing I feel about it is that the draw that it's in, it may be an issue. I feel like it might get lost a little bit, and I'm not really too sure with Belgium and their staging how well they're actually going to portray this on the stage in the semi-final.
That is actually a very good point that I didn't even think about. How about you, Roy? How do you feel about Belgium?
I feel like that's kind of my opposite thoughts on the song. I think like in this semi-final, it fits so well and it stands out so much. It is like the only really dark, laid-back song in the semi-final. I mean, not the only one, but the one that really stands out. And if they can really nail the staging, I feel like they can have a really, really good result, like Matt said as well. You can immediately notice that Heike was there from the beginning and that like it's the original lineup, and this fits so much more better, like her voice with the melody that they're going for. And I think the song is such an improvement to what they did last year. I think in a batch of songs full of craziness, and especially in like a grand final when there are like 25 other songs, and you have this nice little chill moment in between, like maybe two up-tempo dance songs and with a lot of fireworks happening, then this can really stand out and it can really surprise people with how well it could do. And I think Belgium did a really good job with the song, and I hope they don't mess up the staging because the last couple of years haven't been their best record, I guess. But yeah, I have my fingers crossed and I hope for the best. And yeah, thumbs up for me.
All right, so far so good for Belgium. Arno, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Roy and basically all of you for the staging, because I really hope they will deliver good staging, because that could ruin many chances they actually have. I agree also with the running order, because they pass after Croatia and before Israel, which are both like pop bangers, very very happy, like very groovy vibe. And having Belgium in the middle will literally make an impact, and this could be like their good moment. I also think that the song is well constructed rather than Release Me, and her voice fits very well with this dark vibe. Gaika makes a good job, and I've seen the live performances, and she can deliver good vocals. So let's hope the staging follows that. And it also grew on me a lot. And as you said, Matt, this is a grower, and I think more people will enjoy the song through the days until Eurovision comes up.
Okay, so the comments so far have been mostly good, but will that be reflected in our scores and more importantly in Team United's score? So let's see what we gave individually and then I'll share the overall score. Quick and sweet, I think it's such a good song and it's a grower, but when I gave the points, I thought it was such a good song and deserved credit. I'll give it 8 points. Sean, what's your score?
Well, I never would have thought before this year that I would have given this score to a Hooverphonic song this year, but I also gave it 8 points. I think it is, like Arno said, it is a grower, a hell of a grower. My concern is that whether it's going to have the impact when you've got one shot at Eurovision, but yeah, it's certainly got a life in its own.
Okay. Roy, your score.
Yeah, it's gonna be very different than what you guys said. No, not at all. Yeah, I really, I really like this song, and I can hear it play on the radio immediately. And I saw Calm After the Storm comparison. Maybe we'll have that again. Like it will do surprisingly well out of nowhere. And I also gave it an 8 out of 10.
Cool.
Yeah, 3 8s in a row. Arno, bring it home. Another 8, or where are we?
It's not. It's not gonna be an 8.
You ruined it.
But like, I think now I would give it an 8. But when I gave the score, it hadn't grown on me that much than it is now. But when I gave the score, I gave it a 6.5, a 6.5.
That is still not bad, and I guess we'll take it. Not that we have a choice. So before I tell you the score, where Belgium lands with the team overall, Sean, where do you think it ends up?
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure.
Roughly around the 7. I'm not going to start using Gabe's tactics from the other night where he's going one up, one down. I'm going to go somewhere around 7, somewhere nearby.
7. Anyone else has a thought? Roy, Arno, where do you think Belgium will end up?
I think it will be a 6.8.
Oh, Arno,
I'll say a 7.09.
Okay, so
let's see.
It is Belgium's score from Team United is 7.28.
Ooh.
So that is actually a pretty good score. So technically, Arno, you were the highest. So you're okay with that score?
He's using the tactic again. That's the
Well, Gabe is a strategist. I must follow his strategy.
Yeah.
That's a good
strategy. Yeah. Let me see what some of the people in the chat say. They're saying 5.5, 5, 7, 6.5, 7, 6, 10, 7, 8, 8.5. So there seems to be more of a reach between 5 to 8 seems to be a very popular number. In terms of our team, it was a range from 3 to 9. So it was a wide range as well. But I think even though no one gave it like 10 or 9.5, there were a bunch of 9s. So I think a lot of people really like it. Now, the question comes down to Belgium gets a lot of high scores. And that could work well in the jury vote who ranked them. But at the televote, of course, you don't rank them. You just pick your favorite. Is Belgium going to be enough to be at the top of someone's list? That is always my biggest concern, I guess, when it comes to the televote. But that's too early to say, I guess. But 7.28 for Belgium. That is the score from Team United. And I will not show the scoreboard right this very second. I'll do that after about 3 songs. So it's a lot of work. So instead, I think we should move on to the next song on our list. And that is Norway. So, Norway once again had this very elaborate national final in Melodi Grand Prix with 5 semi-shows, as well as the second chance round. But in the end, it was a direct finalist, Tix, who won it all in the end with his entry Fallen Angels. He won the televote by a good margin and therefore will represent Norway in Rotterdam. Last year, Ulrika, she was set to represent the country, by the way, with the song Attention, but decided not to return to the Norwegian national final this time around, therefore paving the way for Tix to take the win. Now, Norway joined the Eurovision family in 1960, a long time ago, and already won the contest 3 times in 1985, in 1995, and again in 2009. Alexander Rybak's Fairy Tale, I'm sure we all remember that. Now, Norway will perform in the first semi in position number 9. And oopsie, I am really curious to see how y'all feel about that one. And I'll just go first again because I got to say that having this one thing that bothers me, having a late 90s, early 2000s retro song, to me, that's not a bad thing. Every time we get like a 70s retro, a 80s retro, but then when people are like, yeah, but when it comes to this sound, you're like, this is a negative. I'm like, why is that? I don't get it. There's something about the melody when it comes to the song Fallen Angel. It is just so memorable to me, and it is so easy on the ears. I guess I don't know how else to explain it. The melody just totally jives with me. I will say, lyrically, not a fan. I should have kept it in Norwegian, to be honest, because it would hide the cliches. Maybe they use the same cliches in Norwegian lyrically, but at least I don't hear it because I get distracted by it a little. So that's probably the biggest negative for me. That being said, I actually really like the song, and I cannot pinpoint it. I just really, really like it. And I'm in the minority here, and it probably is going to be like, what? I'm one of the 3 people probably in the entire planet who actually enjoyed the staging in Melody Grand Prix. It wasn't over the top, but I thought it was kind of immediately eye-popping to me. It's like, I don't know what it is. Yes, it takes a little used to because he has a very unique style with the sunglasses and the headband, and that distracts maybe a little bit. I like the idea of the staging. It certainly is memorable. I like that there's just something about the song I can't get over with. Is it cheesy as like a lot? Yeah, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes cheese is not bad. How about you, Roy?
Yeah, I think that you immediately get sucked into the world of the character that is Tix. Like, I love the staging. Like, I'm kind of surprised you say that everybody kind of hated it. I don't know.
A lot of
I
people
really
did, yeah.
loved it. Oh, I loved how he looked. It was like he is such a character and he's so charismatic on the stage, and you're immediately intrigued to what he's going to sing and what he's going to bring. And while the song is maybe a bit basic, I think the staging was really good and well done, with like the demons trying to pull on him from all sides, and it made more sense maybe in Norwegian. I heard stuff about that. But yeah, I think it really works for them. And the song itself, while it is basic, I could really see it easily pop onto a radio station and people listen to it easily. I can really imagine people putting this in their playlist and it just be on repeat, and they will be like, nice, yeah, jamming through the streets, having fun. It has a nice, modern, slick production to it. It's a very nice song that I like to listen to. And yeah, it's not groundbreaking. It's not out of this world. Like, oh, this is the most amazing song in the world, but it's very solid. And I think Norway, they are in a strong semi-final, so I'm not sure if they will qualify necessarily, but they could do decent. I think maybe another one that people might sleep on a little bit. I don't know.
I never know with you. I always never know what you say. I thought you're going to be harsh on it, but I'm glad you are not. How about you, Arno? How do you feel about Norway?
Well, I agree with you that it will make definitely an impact, because I think the song in English is very cheesy and the staging is also cheesy, but it works because people really they remember it, and they will see it once, the people who watch Eurovision, and they will definitely click and they will remember, oh yeah, that's Norway and that's the angel. So that will really help him a lot. But I agree with you, Matt. I think the Norwegian version was better, and but just because it was less cheesy. But yeah, and I think I'm not bitter that Kaino lost. I'm not, but this is not my kind of song, and but I can still see the quality, and he's very charismatic. He performs really well the song, so I think the juries will appreciate that. The televote, I really don't know. But as I said, that would definitely make an impact. So we'll have to see, and we'll have to see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll never know until we know. Sean, what do you think?
Well, I can't believe, Matt, for a change, you have stolen my thunder, because I think you've basically pointed out everything I wanted to say. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with late 90s, early noughties feel if it's done correctly, if it's done in a positive way, and it's done, if get the production right, and it's going to work, even down to the over the top key change at the end. It is just lifted straight out of 90s Westlife or something like that. I don't know what it is about this song. At first, I was a bit disappointed because I looked at, without knowing Tix, I looked at him and thought, oh, that's going to be an interesting song. And then he came out with this, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. A couple of listens later, I'm wanting to scream the lyrics for this from a rooftop because it is just so catchy. The lyrics, yes, they are not great, but who cares? It's one of them songs that people are going to really connect with, that, they get the message. It would have been nice to have it in Norwegian, but I can see why he went with English because it is such a relatable message. I think it's got great production. It's got a lot going for it, this song, and I really didn't expect that. I mean, Kaino, that's a separate issue. Melody Grand Prix this year.
Don't open those wounds for a lot of people.
No. I could wax lyrically about how we got to this point for hours and hours because I don't agree with what Norway did this year, but the final result is good. Everything is cheesy and over the top and Eurovision-y, but I think it works in this case. And yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy.
All right, so far not too bad, the comments. Let me see what some of the people in the chat are saying. Adam says, Norway staging reminds me of the Croatian song in 2019, also with wings. And I think, Arno, you pointed out earlier, it's true, people will remember the wings, the angel part. That's not always a good thing because it didn't work for Croatia, but it's more than it's just one part of it. They remember the melody as well. And of course, Croatia 2019 and Norway 21 are musically, very
completely different, worlds apart.
Yes, exactly. Let's see what else. I can see this flop in the semifinal. Tobias is saying, okay, he's not too confident. Hengo is saying it was my least favorite in the whole final. Eek, so not too happy. Sarka said, is it cheesy AF? Yes. Does it hit me so much? Yes. I think that is basically how I feel about it as well. So, but now it's time to share our scores and see where it lands ultimately. I don't have much to add. Again, I probably had to subtract a little bit for the lyrics, but I still like the song very much. I'm giving it 8 points. Roy?
Like I said, this is a solid song. This is like the category that you're like, yeah, solid effort. This is going to do... Again, no, that's not what I want to say. Anyway, it will probably do decent. I just remembered as well that like Tix is quite known like across Europe, so maybe that will help him with televote points. Like he produced some good songs, and I don't know, a lot of people already know him. But yeah, besides the point, I gave this a 7.5, a solid score for a solid song.
Okay, so far so good. Arno, what's your score?
You give great rankings. I'm gonna be so harsh on this one. Well,
really?
It's cheesy and it works together. Like the staging works with the song, and the song is like the lyrics in English are perfect with the staging, but it's not my cup of tea, and I gave it a 4.5.
Okay, so slightly below average from Arno. Sean, are you bringing it up a little, or are you with Arno? What's your score?
I mean, I can see why you brought me into this episode now, because you just wanted me to back up your points as much as possible.
Always.
You're going to be against it. This might shock you as well, but I gave this an 8. And it was a lot lower when it was selected, but oh God, it grows on you, and it's really catchy, and you just want to sing it. So yeah, there's no such thing as guilty pleasures. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. 8 points.
Yeah, I see a lot of them looking at the chat. There's a lot of 6.5, between 6.5 and 8.5 seems to be some outliers there, of course, but for the most part, that seems to be the overall consensus here. Let's go to the score that Team United provided to Norway. Who wants to take a guess?
I think it would be a bit lower than what, like, Matt, Sean, and me have been saying. So I would put it more towards, maybe I'll put it at like 5.9, something like that.
5.9. That's much lower than what we said.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like there will be a lot of like not likers or haters towards the song.
Sean?
I'm going to go with 5.91 then.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
vote
you're
that.
gaming this
Yeah,
one.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm using the tactic.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The score is 6.23. So it's a little bit higher than you guessed. I thought it was going to be higher, actually. I thought, oh, come on, this should be at least a 6.5. So I was disappointed by it. But it seems as everybody else on the team thinks, okay, this is better than you thought it would be. I was the only one who was overestimating it, which that's how the cookie crumbles. So I will show the score shortly, but Norway has a 6.23 from Team United. And from Norway, we are moving on to Malta. Okay, so Destiny. She won the X Factor Malta last year, and that gave her the ticket to Eurovision. The song All of My Love was selected, and she was ready to wow the continent. So the broadcaster, they really liked her, so they wanted to give her a real shot at the contest. And so the team came out with the song Je Casse, a French title, but the song's in English, except for that line, of course. Now, the country joined Eurovision in 1971. They took part for a few years, then took a long break, returning in 1991. They stuck around ever since. Best results so far, 2 second places in 2002, and then most recently in 2005 with Chiara's Angel. The country now gets to close out the first semi, performing in 16th position. So let's go for this one person at a time and see what we think. Arnaud, you get to go first on Malta. What are your thoughts?
Yes. This is like last year was already a great song, and I really appreciate that she went with a complete different genre, as you say in English. It's better. But I really like that we have this like vintage vibe, this Charleston. It makes me want to dance so hard, and we already did with Melanie, and it was so good. And the song even shows her vocals even better than All of My Love to me. She goes even harder. She slays so hard on Je Me Casse. And when I saw the French title at first, I was like, "Oh, is she singing in French?" And when I just heard the first lines in English, I was like, "Oh, guess no." But then the beat and everything, I gagged multiple times listening to the song, really. And live, we've seen the symphonic version, and she just sings so well. And I can't wait to see her on stage. I think she will she is a contender for the win to me this year. Not just my taste, but I think when I take into account everything, I think she's one of the contenders for the crown.
Okay, so far a good start for Malta here. Sean, what do you think?
So this is a well-produced modern song. It's really interesting with the electro swing thing, and it's not an electro velvet electro swing. It's actually quite tastefully done with it. It is a catchy song. It's it's modern. She is very charismatic and very likable as a singer, and I'm sure she's going to carry this very well. Now that I've got the positives out of the way,
you're done?
My issue with this is that Malta are so desperate to win, and it is so obvious, and I just feel like they are trying too hard. I feel like there's a lot of elements to this, and it's not entirely a cohesive package. While it is enjoyable, I just feel like it's all going to fall apart, to be honest with you. I mean, we saw in Lisbon with Taboo, where they had the list of everything you could have on stage, and Malta just went, yeah, we'll have it all. And I just feel like they're going to throw everything at this again in Rotterdam. And I could be wrong, it could work, but I just feel like with Malta, it's another, it's a solid attempt, but it's another attempt that I can just see through, and I just feel like it's not quite going to gel with people who aren't Eurovision fans specifically, but will watch it on the night. and that's my concern. But it is, it's a solid song. It's enjoyable to listen
Okay, Roy.
to. But there's overriding
yeah.
with me.
I am a bit more on Sean's side rather than Arnaud's side. I do think that this song is good. Like, it's well produced. Destiny will bring it and will have good live vocals as well. I also think it is a tad bit disjointed as well. You have like this nice build up towards the first chorus. Then she goes "Je me casse," and then instead of a drop, you have like sort of a pre-drop that kind of takes away all of the energy that you had before that, and then you go into the drop that then is also a bit lackluster because you went for the kind of pre-drop kind of thing. Besides that, I'm not the biggest fan lyrically about the song. Not necessarily the message of the song, I think that is great, but just the way they have written the lyrics, like it is super much in your face. And if you make a song kind of about female empowerment, it's a bit weird that you use words like dummies. Like that is not a word I would associate with female empowerment or just power in general. Like it's a bit, I don't know, it just doesn't fully click with me. I do think they'll have a solid result in the contest. I'm a bit baffled that it's like first in the odds right now to win. I'm not necessarily seeing this as a winner. Maybe it is because she already won junior before, but yeah. I think they'll have a solid result, but it's not one of my favorites this year, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I will side with Arnaud on this one.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
Don't blame him.
Don't blame me. Don't blame our superior taste in music. Now, listen. Malta has been for years been a jury favorite, or at least quite. The music worked well with the juries, right? It jived with them, but they had a little bit of a bad track record with the televoters. Like the music didn't work for them. Why I feel really good about Malta first was because it clearly screams jury loving kind of song, but this has a whole lot more televote appeal as well, and that is what Malta has been lacking over the last few years. Listen to Destiny live first of all. Her voice is outrageously good. Did you watch that in the dark, whatever it's called, the show? Her voice is just so good, and that is very, very important. I think that alone will make people go like, "What?" So, she's going to sell the song so well. I think. To me, the song has all the elements for success. It has the voice. It has a catchy melody. It has a proper hook, and I expect good staging. I'm a little bit nervous about some of it, what Sean pointed out, but I will say, use Habu as an example. The staging, you could put, it's an expression in America, you can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. And that's how I felt about Taboo. It's just it wasn't a good song. You cannot, but I do think that the song on itself has all in its own merit. It's fantastic. And there are things I actually will complain about the song, and I agree with Roy, some of his criticism. Some of the lyrics are a little in your face, and I don't find them musically as suitable. Like some of the lyrics, like "if I don't show skin, I don't mean I give in." It just melodically seems really awkward a little bit, some of the parts. And I wish I would have found lyrics that a little bit more flow with the music rather than force it. That is probably my biggest concern I have with the song. So I hear what you're saying, but in the end, I think this song just has everything what I'm looking for in it. So lots of love from me. So here is the thing. Let me see what some of the people say in the chat. Walter is saying she's a great listen to her version at the Mano Theater released today. Is that the one that I saw last night? Is that the same one? I'm not sure. ESC fan is saying, sorry, I don't like Malta's song. Okay. Paul Fratak, I agree with Roy. Destiny is amazing, an amazing singer, and she deserves a better song. Lyrics are super cringe. So Adam is saying, I don't really rate Malta as my cup of tea this year, but I'm sure it will do well. So a good amount of thoughts and comments here, but let's find out our scores. And Arnaud, what did you give Malta?
I give it a 10.
That's
yes,
it?
Yes, 10. I like that. I like that many people in the comments agreed with us, saying that it was a very, very good song. But yeah, to me, this has it all, and it's really in your face and all. But it's for me. I'm buying it.
Okay, you're buying it. Who went second? Sean, what is your score?
Listen, I'm not going to completely tank the song. It is an enjoyable song. I do like to listen to it. It's not one of my favourites this year. My concern's entirely about when it gets to Eurovision and what they're going to do with a song that's already quite chaotic, let's be honest. I mean, they've got previous. I mean, look at Chameleon as well. If you don't even look at Taboo, Chameleon also had a lot thrown at it. So, you know, they've got previous with this. So if they can do it well and they do it right, it will be a good result for them, a really good result. But I gave this a 6.5, which is probably higher than, I don't know if it's higher than you're expecting, but that's just how I feel about this song. So.
All right. Well, I kind of knew your score anyway on the list here, so I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so surprised." I didn't see that coming. How dare you, Roy? What's your score?
Yeah, I am also a bit on Sean's side with that. This is not a bad song, so I won't give like below a 5.5. That is not like it is well produced and it's well thought through, and it has a good chance of doing well and looking decent on stage. But I also cannot really give it a high score because of all the things I addressed before. So I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, this is not going well. Let me fix
that guy now.
Yeah, let me fix this a little bit here.
Yes, fix it, Matt. Fix it.
I don't understand. You see, I don't see this. I was not like crazy about Chameleon. I was not crazy about, I almost said Taboo. And most of the Maltese songs I was not crazy about. And there's a reason why they were kind of more like whatever in the betting odds. There is a reason why it's doing so well, because it has a much better immediate hook. And I told Destiny last year in my review, glad you listened, Diva, you deserve a better song. And she listened to me. She brought a better song, and I am giving a very rare occasion 10 points to Malta. So there you have it. Take my 10 points and run with it, Malta, because I think you have a fantastic song. I am so happy for you. And let's see the moment of truth. Okay, whoever wants to go first. What is Malta getting from Team United?
8.1.
8.1. Okay.
I feel like me and Roy are the negative ones, and all of you absolutely loved it. So 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roy or Arnaud, what do you guys think?
I'd say 8.18.
8.18.
I had that in mind. I'm not giving this. I had that in mind.
Yeah, hey, that's okay. That's a little bit more. There's room. Roy, you're the last one.
I can think of a few more that might not be as much of a fan of the song, so I'll go a bit lower and go for like 7.7.
7.7. Okay, well, I am here to share the score of Malta with Team United. Malta gets 8.38.
Wow. Oh, God.
Listen, my friends, 8.38. So, Roy, Sean, you are overruled. Team United came together and said, shush. And we get, it's very
popular. This is what I've just said. This is what I've just said. I feel like me and Roy are going to be the negative ones on this, and everyone else is.
Yeah, but that's always by default the case.
Yeah.
Not on fire us.
Not yet. First, though, let's take a look at the current score. You're ready after 3 songs. Malta is taking the lead, beating France by 0.7, 8.38. Malta in the lead. France in second place, 8.31. I forgot to highlight the songs here that took part. I have it on the next screen. Belgium is currently in 8th place with 7.28. And Norway, not doing too hot, currently in 17th out of 23 with 6.23. Sean, your thoughts?
I mean, listen, Malta's going to do well if they get it right. I can understand that completely. It's like Roy said. I think Roy said it anyway. I don't get how it's top of the odds. I don't get how it's favourite with, everyone. I say it a lot. I say it a lot at Eurovision. You've got to think of the silent majority, because I think Eurovision fans will lap it up. But is everyone watching at home who only watches once a year, are they going to lap it up just as much? And that's where I'm not too convinced. But yeah, I can see why it's up there.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of expected that Malta would be high up there and maybe even in first. And yeah, I think they'll have a decent result, but I can't see them win. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And if they prove me right, I'll gladly take back these words and just applaud them for having an amazing performance, because they can definitely do well with it. And yeah, cool.
Cool. Yeah, and I hear what Roy is saying, and Malta has a little bit of a polarizing factor, right? Not everyone gets it, but a lot of people do. And I sound like a broken record, but I'm saying at Eurovision, you cannot vote against a song. And there is a lot of support and love for Malta out there, so that the detractors, it's not like you can like vote Malta out or any of that way. So I think that is something I always take into consideration. So that is giving me hope that they're going to do well come May. Oh, it's almost
Could
May
I
already,
just
right?
sorry? Could I just address a
Yeah.
comment in the chat where it says, "Why do we have to think about the general audience when we're giving our own personal opinion?" I get that. My personal opinion of the song is that it's a decent, solid song. It's not remarkable for me, but obviously, when we're looking at a scoreboard and I see Malta on top, that's where my mind leaps to. I just think, compared to other songs, is it really up there? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
that's
yeah.
how I feel.
Keep in mind, our scores are purely based on our rating. It's our
Yeah.
opinion, our thought process. Everything else we talk about, staging, what others may think, it's just side comments. Otherwise, it's just kind of more like, let's just be very clinical about our comments. It's just more of a dialogue here. So don't misinterpret our commentary besides our score as like this influences how we rate a song, because I couldn't care less in that perspective what the rest of you will do. That is not really, and I know that nobody on the team does that. But yeah, 8.38 for Malta, and we got to move on to our next song, and that one is a song that I forgot. Oh yeah, Italy. That's not Italy. Now that is Italy. So Diodato became basically Diato's song, I should say, Five or More. It became an anthem in 2020 when COVID hit the world. It was the song that was set to represent Italy at Eurovision after winning Sanremo. Sadly, Diodato didn't get to experience the contest, did not enter Sanremo this year. That means a new winner was crowned, and it's the band Måneskin. Their song Zitti e Buoni on the evening where it counted got the most support, won the majority of votes, and now they get to go to Eurovision, and they are definitely all excited about the experience. Italy, another original country taking part in the inaugural contest in 1956. They won in 1964, and then again in 1990 with Insieme, but then withdrew in the mid-90s, not returning until 2011. Can they win in 2021? Now, as a member of the Big Five, Italy saved from the semis and a direct finalist. So that is something, that a lot of countries probably want, but is it going to help them? That is the question. Anyway, but we're not here about that. We're here to see what we think about the song. So, Sean, what do you think about Italy? Sean?
Is he frozen?
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right.
We lost him. He lost it.
He's
All
looking
right.
serious too.
I know he's looking very, very serious. We give him 2 more seconds. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm sure he'll be back at some point. So actually, then I got to go first, which I did not want to do. So, listen. For years, people always just not attack me sounds a little harsh, but criticize or point out like, Matt, you love everything that's Italy. Every time they send a song, you like it. Actually, hold my thoughts here. Sean, are you back? Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I think my internet died a bit then.
Okay. Well, I started talking some. You were supposed to go first, but I'll finish my thought.
Okay.
Then I just love them because it's Italy. So this year, not so much. So listen, every song, or not every song, that's not even true. Most songs have redeeming qualities. No song is just like bad, bad, bad. And that includes Italy. For instance, I do like Måneskin's shtick. for lack of a better word. Like, I find them very charismatic and they're fun to watch, and that it means a lot to me. When it comes to a band, I need to be entertained as well. So the song to me, though, it's just, and I don't know how else to explain it. It is very noisy, and I like hard rock, I like heavy metal, I like all kinds, but it just find it very disjointing and repetitive. It's like the same chords over and over again, and I personally have a hard time enjoying it, listening to it. I have a difficult time enjoying when it's on, and it is unfortunately one of the two songs this year where I have to say the two dreaded words: Alexa, skip. Because that is exactly what I do with this song, and I feel bad because every year Italy's like in my top three, or whatever, but this year the song isn't for me, and it is one of the songs I'm like, I'm glad so many people like it. That's great. It is one of the few, every few years you're like, I don't get why a song is so popular. Like, I'm missing the boat there. And this is Italy for me this year. But I think every once in a while that happens, and at least people can now get off my back saying I love everything Italy. I still love Italy, but I just don't. This is one of my least favorite songs of the year, unfortunately. It's just loud, and I just can't get into it. That is unfortunately, but you always say I'm too nice. There you go. I'm not. Sean, what do you think?
So, what I really want to point out with this is that Italy are doing what they do best. They have picked a song that represents them. It's not what Europe necessarily wants to hear or needs to hear, but they've picked what represents them. And that's what I love about Italy every year, regardless of what I actually think of the song. The good thing is that this is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. It is such a breath of fresh air for Eurovision for me. I love how raw it is. It is a positive and a negative. I can understand that. It will turn a lot of people off the song. I completely get that. But for me, the fact that it's just so unpolished and they are just, they are who they are. They just want to turn up and perform a rock song for 3 minutes and, just trash the stage or whatever. But that's what I like about them. It's such a cool band, and it really adds to the credibility of Eurovision, I think, by being part of the lineup this year. It just feels really authentic. It's got such a strong impact, no matter how you feel about the song itself or your personal preferences before it. You're going to notice this song in the final, and I think it's going to stand out. And another point I just want to make is that it's very catchy, even if you don't know Italian, even if you can't speak Italian, and that's really hard to do in your own language. But I think that it's not quite perfect for me. It is a little bit too messy in stages, but I just think it's such a fantastic addition to this year's lineup. So yeah, rock on.
Okay, so we got a few different polarizing opinions here. Arno, where do you fall?
I fall in your team, Matt.
Really?
I do. I like good things about Italy, about Zitti and Buoni, is that the group Måneskin is very charismatic. They can really perform this song. It stands out compared to when you put all the song together. It stands out, but I think the beat is kind of repetitive, and there are no like ups and downs. It's really like not a straight line because it's not just flat lining, but it's not getting up there and it's not getting I don't see many levels in this song because the verses are already pretty powerful and the chorus is not that much powerful. Well, not more powerful. But yeah, I can definitely see doing well in Eurovision because, and I really like that many fans like the song because it's a very good song, very good quality. This is definitely not a bad song. It's just a bit repetitive to me.
Okay, so Roy, wrap it up. What is your thought?
I'll firstly say that this is probably one of the songs that benefits the most from the deadline that we had to submit our scores by. I think ever since the song has kind of dropped a bit more for me. So I like it a little bit less than I did back in the day. And that is mainly because of its repetitive nature. The chorus is just him shouting 4 lines in a row. I love his voice, by the way. I think it's very raw, very like raspy, and like something you really see in Italian Sanremo and a lot of other music. And I really love that. I just wish it was a bit more complicated, a bit more intricate, a bit more like different throughout the song. Right now it is a bit more like the same kind of chords all over again and the entire song. And after a couple of listens, it starts to drop a little bit for me. Back then, I really loved the performance in Sanremo. Back then, I'm saying like...
Okay, when we're young and, and innocent.
It does feel like years ago, though.
It's true, yeah. No, but I mean, talking about young, like I think I'm the youngest on the United team, and like all of the band members are younger than I am, which is baffling to understand for me. Like they're all 21 and younger. I'm like, wow, that is insane. But maybe like a few more years would have maybe enhanced their craft a bit better, maybe come up with a bit more of an intricate composition and maybe a bit more dynamic song, maybe. But I love the Italian rap. I really love how different it is compared to a lot of other songs. And I really do still stand behind that. The live performance, especially of Damiano, is really good. And it could do decent. And I definitely can see an audience voting for this. So, yeah.
Okay, so then before we give our scores, let's see what some of the people in the chat are saying. By the way, y'all, I'm so Southern sometimes.
Y'all.
I lived in the South for so long, so the y'all just kind of stuck. But make sure at ESC United, if you have a comment for us, it helps me to pick them out rather than just general chit chat. Steven is saying Italy was my number one last year and is last this year. I'm almost in the same boat there, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because I think both Roy, I know you like these songs better, but I know Five or More was really high in your personal rankings.
Yeah, that was my winner last year. Yeah.
Yeah, so you I think it was one of my top two. I was kind of going back between Bulgaria and Italy, I think. But anyway, Gel Official says I really didn't like Italy at first, but it really grew on me a lot. I didn't like the live version, but I love the studio version. I really understand Matt. It is true what he's saying. Yeah, that I knew. I'm not kidding. But thank you for that. Do you guys agree, though, when you watched Sanremo, did you like the live version better than the studio version, or is that not really a big difference for you?
I did.
You liked it better live? Like with the
I
strings?
definitely liked it better live. Yeah.
You too, Sean, or you didn't have a preference?
I think, I probably didn't see it live because it was like...
okay,
okay. I'm not as hardcore as some people, but I've seen the performances, and this is the type of song that does come to life when it's on stage. Yeah. It's their natural environment. So, of course, it's Italy and Finland are going to be the two biggest examples this year of playing off an audience and really rocking the stage, and it's going to show when it comes to Eurovision.
Okay.
Sure of it.
Well, let's move on to our scores and see since Sean dropped out, I want to go first and I have to go first with the score, which I did not want to do. But here we go. Listen, Italy, if there are any Italians, I love you bunches. And just this one year, give me a break. I'll be back loving your song next year, probably. Well, I shouldn't promise that, but I'm sure I will. I usually do. But this year, I can't wrap my brain around this song. And it is, as said, it's on one of the two songs on my skip list. And it would not be fair if I just... put it higher just to kind of appease the people. I don't like the song. 3.5 from me. Sorry. Sean.
That's higher than I thought you'd give. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not. I can see some quality in some of the. I cannot just. There are redeeming qualities. It's just not for me.
Yeah. For me, they're brilliant. I think they're a great band. They've got a wonderful future ahead of them. They're raw, they're young, they're energetic. They're really going to carry this quite well at Eurovision, and it's a breath of fresh air. So it's an 8.5 from me.
8.5. Okay. Arno.
Well, though the song is repetitive, they will deliver a good performance, and the song comes to life a bit more when they do it live. So I gave it a 5.5.
Okay.
I'm not the harshest this time.
Yeah, that's me. Roy.
Like I said, it dropped a bit afterwards. I would probably give it like a 7.5 right now. But when we had to submit the scores, I gave this an 8.5. And in a way, at Eurovision, you only get one impression. So I guess that opinion matters more than my opinion now, in a way. 8.5 for me. I think they'll do decent.
I see a bunch of 10s and high scores, but a lot of lower scores as well. It seems, again, Italy, similar to Malta, maybe even more dramatic, polarizing. effect here, which again isn't always a bad thing because you kind of vote against the song, so I could be easily overruled. So let's take a look at the team score, Team United. Arnaud, Roy, Sean, who wants to take a guess? Where is Italy landing?
5.9, I'd say.
5.9 from Arnaud.
Yeah, it could
Okay,
be at the
Sean and
end.
Roy.
I'm gonna say 6.4.
Okay, Roy.
I mean, if Matt is supposed to be one of the harshest ones, and I know that there's a lot of people that will also love this song with all of their heart, I will go a bit higher and go with like 6.9.
6.9. Wow. The team score for Italy is 7.31.
Oh wow!
So Roy had yeah, your instinct was pretty spot on, Roy. You probably would have gone even higher. So Arnaud, you were a little off there, huh? You didn't think that was going to happen. So overall, I can look at the team score. There were only like 2 or 3 people who did not feel it, and
you tried to kill it, Matt, but it didn't work.
I tried so much.
No matter what you do.
I should have given it a 1. No, it's not up to me. If people like it, by all means, this is just my opinion. I'm happy that Italy is popular. It would just be weird if Italy were to win, when I want them to win every year, and then the year when I'm not on board, they win. I'm like, really?
I want that now.
But I would never be sad going to Italy because that's my favorite places to go anyway. But anyway, so 7.31 for Italy. That's a pretty good score. I'll show you later on where it's going to end up overall. But for now, we got to move on. We spent a good amount of time on this one. We got to speed it up. We always have so much good dialogue here. And the next one is Ireland. So, Lesley Roy, she was ready to represent Ireland last year with her entry, Story of My Life, and the broadcaster felt it was the right thing to do, at least, to let her go to Eurovision after the unique circumstances that prevented her from going last year. Now, she wrote a new song titled Maps, trying to take back the country to the finals, to its former glory. Ireland has won the contest more than any other country in the history of the contest, 7 times to be exact. That's highly impressive, but the last win was in 1996, so 25 years ago. Half a century, no, not half, a quarter century. Sorry, my math sucks. Are they overdue for another victory? Ireland will perform, by the way, in the first semifinal from position number 7. And what's going to happen to Ireland? Only one way to find out. Let's see how our team feels about it. Arnaud, why don't you go first?
To me, this is such a glow up from last year. Because Story of My Life to me was like very like Disney Channel movie, teenagers movie kind of song. I really wasn't digging Story of My Life. But Maps, I think she took some elements from Story of My Life and improved everything else. And to me, like the lyrics are way more deep. They are deeper. They are about like finding your way and feeling like a sort of empowerment, but a personal empowerment. And this is a very beautiful song. To me, the video is good. I hope they take inspiration from the music video for the staging. My only worry is her live vocals, because on the live on Instagram that she did with the Eurovision, she sang it well, but it was just like very chill acoustic. She sang it well, but live on a stage, like one shot, I'm a bit afraid that she doesn't deliver, because she has some belts. I hope she does them well, because I'd like to see Ireland in the final back again, because the song is really great. Yeah.
Okay, so good start here, Sean. What do you think?
I can only echo the fact that this is so much better than last year, and this is really what we wanted to hear from Lesley Roy. Story of My Life was fine. It was okay, but yeah, I think the Disney sort of pop rock vibe really sort of hits the nail on the head with that one. This is a solid radio pop song with a much better structure. It's pleasing, the build throughout the song. I think it's very sort of sing along, and it's catchy in the chorus. I don't know if it has an immediate impact for me, at least anyway. I was quite surprised to see when this first came out in the polls and the ranking games, Ireland suddenly, they shot quite high. So it could have quite a good first impact for a lot of other people. So hopefully that bodes well for Rotterdam. I think what works in this favor is that Lesley's very likable and very charismatic, and I think she is one who can fire up a crowd, which I think is really going to be effective with this stage performance because it's got such a driving beat. It's it's almost danceable too, and I think that could work in their favor if they really play off that with the live performance. But yeah, it's I mean, again, it's not really one that's like towards the top of my rankings. Spoiler alert, but it is a solid song, and I do enjoy listening to it.
All right, Roy.
I think it also is a massive step up from last year's song. It is more, it's better produced, better thought about, and overall it just feels more polished and a bit better executed than what they did last year. It is the fastest song BPM wise of the entire Eurovision season, which is kind of a cool little trivia thing.
Really?
Yes, and I don't know. It misses a bit of memorability for me. If you give me the entire batch of Eurovision songs, like, yes, I will enjoy it while it is on, but after all of them, I would have like a little bit more of a tough time like memorizing the song and just being like, oh yeah, that was Ireland, and yeah, that was good, or stuff like that, really. And I know that they will have a really good staging. There was a guy being asked for a lot of other countries to do the staging for them. And he was like, nope, I'm going to focus fully and solely on Ireland. I don't fully remember what his name was, but that is something that they can really get some confidence out of. I think it's a decent song. I like listening to it, but I wouldn't necessarily put it on myself. It's decent.
It's okay, decent from Roy. So now let's see what. Oh, wait, I didn't see my comment. I guess I need a comment as well. Try to skip myself here. I will say, to me at least, Lesley, like, she shines in the song. She practically glows, and she's absolutely in her element. The song is exactly up her alley, and to me, that comes across. And that is a very powerful tool, actually. I find the song charming and relatable. Does it have an immediate hook like some of the other pop songs in the running? No, which could potentially work against in its favor, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just judging the song and its own merit. And to me, it is such a nice melody, and I really love the structure of the song. It has a build without going like overboard and dramatic as we sometimes see at Eurovision. And from a progression perspective, thumbs up from me. And I love the bridge. Like, it really just breathes new life into the song, which I feel bridge should be there. Switch it up, make it more interesting rather than you get just repetitiveness. I thought it's just the whole structure of the song I'm a big fan of. And I know it's in a tough semi, and I have not given up hope for Lesley, though. I think it's just a really good pop song. And I'm always thinking, is it a votable song from a televote perspective? That's my biggest concern. But once again, I don't care about that. I just really like the song, and that's what I'm going to do. So I hope she's going to deliver on the night where it matters. But I do like it. So let's see some of the comments in the chat. As a reminder, the comments that go directly to ESC United will be read first. I think that maps won't be memorable enough to qualify, to be honest. I think it's really difficult song to stage and to sing live. Anyone agrees with that?
I think it could go both ways. Ireland have struggled with staging as well recently, so they really need all the help they can get. So if she's got the good team behind her, I've seen a couple of people in the comments saying that she's got a really good team behind her this year, and obviously Roy brought it up. So, fingers crossed, because, going to be a little bit biased, but Ireland deserve to be doing better in Eurovision. They're a sleeping giant of the contest, so it'd be nice to see them, take it. They did well in 2018.
Yes.
There's no reason why they couldn't do it again this year.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you were breaking up for a second. I thought you were done. I agree with what you're saying. And it's not even for the lack of trying. I don't think they haven't always nailed the staging. but they were trying, at least like in 2017 with the hot air balloon, even though it's like a gimmicky. At least I thought like, okay, let's put something into it. In 2019, with the 50s ice cream parlor, like they were trying to go for something, but I mean, it was never meant to be anyway, I think. But it's not for the lack of trying. It's just really connecting the dots. I think that is what Island, and it worked in 2018. I think they did that really, really well. And I think you were one of the first ones, Sean, to recognize that. So yeah, that is very interesting. But let's go to our scores and see where it ends up. Arno, what did you give Ireland?
Well, to me, oh God, sorry, my voice went off.
Puberty kicking in. All right.
Like, oh no.
All right.
Don't quit right now. I need your voice. To me, it's a solid entry, definitely. And I can't wait to see it live on the stage and see the beautiful staging, because apparently it's very promising. I gave it a 9.
9 points. Sean.
I wasn't quite as positive and generous with my point for this one. I gave it a 6, which in hindsight, because obviously we gave these points a little while ago, I may have bumped it up slightly now. But it's a solid radio song. I think she's really going to elevate it live. So I think that 6 points is only going to grow for me.
Okay, Roy.
I gave it a 6.5. I think it is decent, like I said. It's not one of my favorites and that I would necessarily play. But yeah, it has a lot of things to go for. And with the staging, I believe there were some rumors that it was going to be like some sort of CGI, AR kind of thing, a bit like Storm combined with You're the Only One sort of thing. But I mean, we're yet to wait, and maybe that didn't work out. And we'll see about that. 6.5 for me for now.
6.5 from Roy, and I like it very, very, very much, and therefore very, very much translates to 8.5 from me. So 8.5 points coming from me. Once again, Arno and I are like BFFs right now.
Nice guys.
I know.
It's very much a split in this group, isn't
I
it?
know, right? It seems to be the case. So let's find out the score. Who wants to guess? What is Ireland getting?
I'd give it like a 6.8.
6.8 from Roy.
I was about to say that, but I'll say a 6.92.
92. Oh, it's just like 0.12 higher.
I'm going to go with a 6.85.
6.85. So you're kind of in the same range, all three of you.
Yeah.
So here we go. The points for Ireland from Team United are 7.63 in your face. In your face. In your face. No, I'm not in your face. I love you guys. I'm being mean. But I just
genuinely shock me. Like,
yeah,
I don't think you'd have that many people who love it.
I guess it also doesn't have like many haters. Like I can't really see why you would like
only one hater, and that's it.
Okay,
yeah. So that would help it.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't give that out. But yeah, so this is a really good score, and I'll show you in a moment where this will end up. I see a lot of what in the chat, so I certainly was a pleasant surprise. We're going to do one more song, and then we're going to look at the score. And I forgot to tell everyone in my chat today, like on my team today, I meant to tell you that before we go live. We had some Marino next, but I did a boo-boo in my notes, in my pictures, so it's going to be Albania. That's going to go next. So if you have to make some changes on your end, I know I messed that up.
You know how to keep the people waiting, Matt, don't you? You know.
No, I had it right.
To know.
We just flipped those two around because I did the scoreboard, and then I put Albania instead of San Marino. That's the only reason why I flipped them around. But anyway, so let's go for Albania first. Are you guys ready? Let's go. So yeah, Albania, it's a new face also in Albania. Arilena Ara won Festivale Këngës last year with Shy. The song was then translated into Fall From the Sky, but the singer did not return to the Albanian national final, giving a different singer the ability or the opportunity to go to Rotterdam. And the lucky winner, Anxhela Peristeri and her Karma. Will she make Albania proud? And Albania so far's best result came in 2012, a fifth place, and the country will perform in semifinal 2 and position number 11. And now we get to talk about it. And first one is Roy. What do you think of Albania?
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily. This wasn't necessarily my favorite of the national selection. I had a few others that I had my eye on, but like, I mean, that's in the past. They had a revamp, and I think the revamp really did it some justice. It gave it a bit more liveliness. But still, I have some issues with the song. While it starts off epically, like you have this, doo, 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 and like everybody will be gravitated towards it immediately and be like, something's gonna happen now. And then after that, it's like a bit lackluster, maybe. Like you expect something massive to happen, and then it's like a decent verse, and you go into the chorus, and it has a nice little trap drop, but also that lasts very shortly, so you move immediately on to the next verse, and you have that going on for a while, and then you have like a nice little trap breakdown with a lot of things happening at the same time, and a lot of little intricacies, which I really like, and that's definitely the highlight of the song for me. The memorability really lies in her singing the Salty Nuk Makfal line. I think that is something that just sticks in your head really well, and it's something that people can really remember the song by and could really make it better. Yeah, it's a solid effort. Not one of my all-time favorites, like one of my super favorites this year, but yeah, decent plus, let's say it like that.
Okay, decent plus, whatever
Yes.
that is. Sean.
Okay, so every Eurovision needs a song like this. Okay, I get that, and I think it really adds to the diversity of the year. It feels like a missed opportunity to me for Albania this year, and it's a shame because, you know, I love the fact that they stick to, you know, Albanian. They stick to what they know. I do really appreciate the quality of their entries. You know, objectively. But it doesn't have the power of Mol. It doesn't have the mystique of Fejutus, or however you pronounce it. I'm not Albanian. I may have just butchered that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a nice song. I think the revamp has helped it. I think it has helped it because the instrumentation is a lot more ethnic, and, you know, it just feels right. And this could be, you know, one of the songs that really improves on stage. But I just find myself just really wanting Albania to be more daring at Eurovision. And, you know, it can happen. They've sent rock songs and they've sent, you know, other unique entries, and I want them to get back to that, because I feel like they found something that they think works for them, and I'm worried they're going to get stuck in the rut. Now, I think a lot of the people who watch FIK, they're probably in Albania who are voting, they're probably not thinking of Eurovision, you know, kind of like Sanremo. But yeah, it's an okay song for me. There's not really much more I could say about it, unfortunately.
That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. And everyone in the chat, your thoughts at ESC United, so I can read them as well. I kind of just have to echo, Sean, I stole your thunder earlier. You stole mine now. I think we're even now. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I appreciate the authenticity of the song, right? It is purely Albanian, and that's what Albania keeps sending. I know the Albanian people probably would have wanted something else from what I'm hearing, but they don't have a say. It's purely a jury vote. And so I would have also appreciated if it would have gone with a little bit more outside of the box. The song in its genre itself, it sits safe and pretty. It doesn't break boundaries even like within that sound, but it's not bad either. Like it's just kind of like sitting there. And Sean, you nailed it when you said, you know, it doesn't have the power of Mol or the mysteriousness of 2019 song. I'm not going to even butcher the name. And but I completely agree with you. Those songs had something that made them stand out. And this song has certain aspects of it that I like as well. It's not a bad song. I actually do kind of like it. I just think it could have been a little bit more experimental and a little bit more interesting. The revamp, certainly a significant improvement to the original version. It's the kind of music that we want at Eurovision. It's not the kind of music that we want at Eurovision that will stand out, if that makes any sense. So that is my worry. So just the fact that it's not Albanian and it represents its roots, I don't think it's necessarily enough in this case. But again, not a bad song. But let's see what some people in the chat are saying. Carl Compton is saying, if they make the staging really dramatic, it could just sneak through. Question to everyone. Do you guys agree? Because Albania has had a little bit of the past few years like this. We just sneak into the finals, or like they're slightly underestimated in the betting odds. Do you think it could happen again this year?
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, they are in semifinal too, which is less stronger than the first one. So yeah, maybe they're gonna like be borderline qualifiers or be like 12th place in the semifinal to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, I can see that. And I will not spoil it too much because we're going to have the ESC United prediction coming up as well very soon for each semi. So stay tuned for that. So I don't want to give away too much, but let's give away our scores and see where it ends up in our ranking. Roy, what did you give it?
Yeah, like I said, it's a decent plus, whatever that may mean. No, I enjoy it while it's on, and it's, again, not really a song I would necessarily look for, but it has some potential to have a decent staging and have a decent live performance. And yeah, it's kind of a borderline qualifier, so I gave it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 from Roy. Sean?
It's like I said, it doesn't quite have the impact that the other Albanian entries have had on me recently. I can appreciate what it is. I think the revamp has helped it. It's solid, decent, but it's not really for me, to be honest. So I gave it 4.5.
Okay.
It's just kind of middling for me, to be honest.
All right. Arno, your score.
The revamp went in the good direction. It made the song more modern and like have more layers in the instrumentals. I like the song. It has potential, but it's not my favorite. But I still really enjoy it. I gave it a 7 as well.
Oh,
we agree.
Okay.
We agree for once, Roy. We agree.
Yes, you're on the same page. Enjoy it while it lasts. So I kind of am in between Sean and what you guys said. It's a perfectly fine song without really, as I said, breaking any boundaries or record bugs. I'm giving it a 6. That is just kind of how I feel. So I'm kind of where you guys are, just somewhere in the middle. It's a good song. It's nothing embarrassing. I just want Albania to give us something that's like, whoa, and we just got, oh. And I'm so articulate today. And but that's how I feel about it. Let's find out what Team United has.
Team Albania.
Team Albania, Team United.
I think you're losing it.
I'm just pretending this is water, it's vodka. Now, so what do you guys think Albania has as the team score?
5.9.
5.5.
5.9, 5.5. Roy, you say?
I was gonna say like a 6.3.
Okay. The winner is technically Roy. A 6.75, actually. So, as you can see, that is quite higher. Sean, you're quite surprised?
Initially, yeah, but like, I can get that people will really enjoy this. I can get that there are very sort of traditionalist Eurovision fans that love this type of stuff, pretty much regardless of the content, almost some of the time. So I get that. I completely get that. But I haven't seen anyone really love this song or really push for it to be appreciated more. So that's why it surprises me a little bit.
I was slightly surprised about this, but the highest score that Albania got was 8. And Sean, you were actually one of the lowest score. It just really has that 4.55 to 8. It's like exactly where Albania is sitting pretty, and it doesn't get like a whole lot. But the fact that so many people like it enough helped it to go up a little bit. So 6.75 for Albania. Let's look at the current rankings. And this time I was smart enough to highlight the 3 songs that we have reviewed. And Ireland is in 5th place with 7.63. Italy in 8th place with 7.31. Albania kind of in the middle there, 15th place, 6.75. Roy, what do you think so far of these 3 songs and overall?
Yeah, what I still wanted to add about Albania is that it kind of really reflects what we're saying. Like everybody kind of has it in the middle, and that isn't really something you want in Eurovision. Like you want some haters and some lovers that give you points. But yeah, it's surprising to me that Ireland is such a high scorer. Really, like it's a pleasant surprise, definitely. But I didn't expect that at all. Like it's higher than Italy. Like I've seen a lot of love for Italy from all over the place. Yeah, it's kind of surprising to see Ireland higher, but it's cool.
Yeah. Sean, your thoughts?
I cannot believe Ireland have beaten Finland. That's just really sticks out to me because Finland is like, there are so many people that love it for very good reasons, myself included. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Ireland. Like I said, it is a very solid song, and I can see it doing well in terms of being received as a good, strong live performance and people in the audience loving it. But just fifth, I can't fathom that really.
Yeah. I still think Team United is cancelled because Norway is way too low. That is at least my opinion. It's one of those three. I've mentioned that earlier now, especially when all these other songs are coming in, pushing Norway even further down. So that was my thought. But these are the ones so far. Let's move on to the next 4 songs on our list, starting with San Marino. And well, San Marino always a fan favorite, at least of the diehard fans, pointing out. Senhit represented the country in 2011 and slated to do it again in 2020, but when the contest got cancelled, the broadcaster quickly decided to give her the rightful place in the competition, and her last year's effort was titled Freaky, and this year she's going with Adrenalina. I cannot say it the way she does. She teamed up with American rapper Rida, and he may be in Rotterdam, and now we get to discuss the song. San Marino, by the way, is still fairly new to the contest, joining in 2008, taking a few years off, but then passionate about the contest, with room for improvement in terms of best result, which came actually in 2019, the most recent contest, with 19th place. Remember Say Na Na Na? Now, San Marino's opening the second semi, going first. No pressure. So let's talk this through, and let me go first on this one. And because, let's be real here. San Marino, what? Why are you laughing?
This is so rigged.
Why is it rigged? I didn't adjust your score.
You're going to feel thunder.
All right. Do you want to go first, Sean? Why don't you go first?
Okay, if you want me to go first.
No, but you're going anyway.
Okay, look, we'll swap over. It's like with Italy. Look, I have not written notes for this entry. I don't need notes for this entry because how do you describe it? This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. This is, I know we can't really talk about the country, but this is San Marino bringing one of the hottest ethnobops Eurovision has ever seen. Never mind this year. It is so well produced. It has such an amazing drive about this. The bass. It's just. I'm almost speechless. It's really well produced. The way that it's been structured is so good, and it drives and it builds, and it just gets better and better and better throughout the 3 minutes duration. And then Flow Rider turns up. I mean, sorry to swear, but what the fuck? Like, where the hell did he come from? Like, Eurovision 2020 being cancelled could not have actually worked out better for San Marino, because they've come with one of the strongest songs of the year. And if this is staged really well, and if Flow Rider turns up in Rotterdam, we could really see something special for San Marino this year. And I am so happy for them, for the team, for the people who work behind San Marino, because I know that they are good people, and I know that they've blessed them. They've been trying each year, and sometimes, a lot of the times, it's not really worked, but they've struck gold with this one. They really have.
This is very interesting because, again, I never know with you, Sean, because I'm like, I don't think that sounds like a Sean song, but for some reason it's coming together, so it's very interesting. But to me, the song itself, it sounds so American to me. I don't know why. It's the kind of music that I would expect here in the charts, and that's not because of Flo Rida. Like putting him aside, it's just the sound, the structure of the song is something that absolutely I could see some of our like Ariana Grande even singing. You know what I mean? But what I like about it is Senhit. She was effectively working with everything. She's utilizing her Eritrean heritage with the sounds, all of that. So it still feels like universally accessible at the same time. And I agree, Sean. It's like, when I remember I did my reaction video, I was like, wait, is this San Marino? Did I hit the wrong button? Because it's just, you don't expect such a bop coming from San Marino. And I was so proud of them. It's high energy. And she has so much personality. Like, she just oozes personality when she's on stage. I'm like, stop it already. No, don't. I'm just saying it's just so powerful. I expect great things in Rotterdam for them. And a lot of people are saying it's so overhyped because it's San Marino. I couldn't disagree more with that sentiment because let's be real here. San Marino, I think all four of us and anyone in the chat have a soft spot for San Marino, putting the song aside because they're trying so hard. That small country, very little opportunities, right? But until now, I don't think San Marino has ever been high up in my ranking. It's just more of a nostalgic, like soft spot for them. But this year, they're in it, my friends. And the staging needs to come together, vocally needs to come together. And if it does, I can see great things for San Marino. I think it's just fantastic. I absolutely love this song as well. So I'm with Sean on this one. Roy, your thoughts?
Bringing it down to earth a little bit. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, like this is the thing, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, it's so good for San Marino standards," and yes, it is amazing for San Marino standard. Like, if you compare them, like this would be a 10 compared to all of their other stuff. But comparing it to all the other music that is there, it's just a little bit underwhelming for me. The beat is just simple, and it's like the entire 3 minutes, the beat or like the driving factor behind the song is just all the time there, and it just starts to annoy me slightly after a little bit. I do think it's still great fun. I do think I would dance to it whenever it would come on and we'd be all together if that were ever a possibility this year. Yeah, I don't know. I just have my reservations about it. It just misses that little bit of extra energy that I would have wanted from a song like this. And it is nearly there. And I love to see that they've really stepped up their game, because usually they're a bit more of the meme factor. That's like, oh yeah, let's vote for San Marino because we really want them to do well. And this year it feels like I should more critique them in more like, not for that factor, if that makes sense. I don't know what I'm going on about now.
I muted you the entire time, so I'm not listening to it.
Yeah, I just have my reservations. I miss a bit of energy. I miss a bit of diversity. I'm glad that Flo Rida puts his little bit in between, because that really breaks up the song nicely for me. Because I don't think without the little break it would be as okay as it is for me right now. But it's just not as good as you guys make it out to be for me.
Arno.
I'm bringing it up again.
Oh no, I'm alone.
Back on track.
Bye, Debbie Downer.
Well,
Move on.
Well, she just owns it. Like Senhit just owns it. Like she knows the fans love the song, not just because the song is great, but mostly because it's San Marino. I also get that. Like, people are so crazy on the song, not just because it's San Marino. And when San Marino has come through in the past years with Serhat, like, it was mostly like meme entries, like say na 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 and all. Like, that was like meme worthy. But with Adrenalina, they went like, okay, this time we're coming, but we want to slay, and they did. And not only was that enough, she decided to bring Flo Rida. Like, that wasn't enough, just like having such a powerful banger. No, she added Flo Rida, who may come in Rotterdam if he can travel. So it would be even more epic if he's there. And I mean, she doesn't need him. She doesn't need him ultimately. Like, she could do so well on her own. But yeah, and if the staging comes together and the live vocals as well, she could just slay the competition.
All right. That's interesting comments here. Real quick, we don't have much time, so I'm going to go through them real quick. Emma says, call me crazy, but I actually think I preferred Say Na Na Na. Paul agrees with Roy. It's a good song among some great songs. Walter is saying, give the small countries the result they deserve. And Crystal is saying, I just hope the staging isn't a train wreck. LOL. If the staging is stylish and modest, it could do very well. If it's like the video, I'm not sure it could win. And Nikolai is saying, Adrenalina is such a banger. Every Eurovision, the stage show will be fire. All right, let's talk points. Sean, you wanted to go first? What's your score?
Look, this is a masterpiece, and I'm not just saying it because it's San Marino. I do genuinely think this is probably one of the strongest songs of this type in Eurovision, and not just this year, any year. If you listen to this with headphones and full bass, it's such an experience, and it's great. Honestly, if they really nail this on stage in Rotterdam, this could go really, really far, and I'm really excited to see what they bring. Hopefully, Flow Rider. 10.
Whoa, 10 points from Sean. And I agree. I don't care if it's San Marino. This could have been Poland. It could have been Portugal. It could have been Ukraine. I don't give a flying fart. I think this song on its own merit is just fantastic, and it deserves all the credit it gets, despite what Mr. Roy says and some of the other people in the chat. No, I love you anyway. But seriously, I love the song. 9.5 from me. Roy.
I mean, you're saying it as if I give this a 1 out of 10, but I didn't at all. No, I still think it's a good song. It's just not as amazing as people make it out to be. And I'm also a bit reserved, like, what if Flow Rider isn't there? What are they going to do with the rap verse? Like, who's going to do that? Is she going to do it by herself? It's a bit of a questionable thing still, maybe. Yeah, I gave it a 6.5. Like, it's okay. It's just not as amazing as people make it out to be, I guess.
Okay. Arno. Bring it home. What's your score?
Yay. Imagine the gag having Florida not being here, but Florida like as a hologram, or like Senhit doing the rap. That would be like that would be even more epic. Like imagine like but I join you, Sean and Matt, and I gave the same mark as you, Matt. I gave it a 9.5.
Wow, we agree quite a bit until we don't. But
yes.
It's like we agree. Okay, not this time, but yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So let's get to the score, and Emma, to you too. I'm kidding. What do you guys think? What did San Marino get?
I think it's up there.
Up there?
8.26.
It's trouble in France and Malta.
I think 8.26.
Roy, do you think you bring it down? They're more like you. What do you think?
7.4.
7.4. Sean?
Yes.
Oh, if I had to put a number on it,
you have to. It's the law.
Just about scraping 8.
Okay. So San Marino's score with Team United is 8.22.
I was so close.
Wow,
I was so close.
Yes, yes, Arno, you were the closest technically, so you get to
for once
go first and share your thoughts. You think that's good, right? You're good with that score?
Well, obviously, I think it's good, and I think many people gave it a super high rank as we did, except Roy. But Roy gave it a good grade. So I think many people were like, "Oh, it's like middle of the table," or like so well. I think the grades are this way.
There is mostly, I can tell you right now, there either people are with us or with Roy. There's not many, except like one person who really doesn't like it, but either like, it's fine, it's it's in the middle, or it's really, really good. So this is a pretty good, it's less polarizing. Do you know what I mean? There's just a lot of support there, and I think that is what helped San Marino getting a pretty decent score. I still will defend this whole because it's popular because it's San Marino. No. It's popular because it's flipping good. And there's a reason. Betting odds don't get impacted by this whole San Marino is a smaller. There's a reason why it's in the top 10 of the betting odds, because there is something to it. I will say actually it works against it. If this was Sweden's song, I think it would be even higher in the betting odds. Oh, yeah. But we'll never know. But yeah, so 8.22, and I got to go through this. We still have 3 songs, and we're like way over time. But let's go for this really fast, because next up we have Croatia. Yes, Croatia next up on our list, and Damir Kitso. I know you don't pronounce his name like that because I suck at pronouncing names. He won Dora last year and decided not to return this year as he felt he didn't have the right song. But Albina thought she did have the right song, and her Tick-Tock won over both the juries and the televoters. Job well done. Now, can she improve Croatia's best result to date? That's 2 fourth places so far, first in 1996 and then again in 1999, Maria Magdalena. So it's been a minute. The last time we saw the country in the finals was in 2017. Croatia allocated to Summer 1 and will perform in slot number 10. So Croatia wants to get back. Do they have the support from Team United? Only one way to find out. Arno, what are your thoughts on Croatia?
I really thought she wasn't going to win the national final. When I see the latest entries Croatia sent, when I heard Albina's Tick-Tock, I was like, oh, this is not winning because this is like too pop and bangery, and they don't really like it. But when it actually won, I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually very impressed and very happy about it because this is such a change from what Croatia did in like many years before. And it's good to have Croatia singing a song like that, which is very modern. And with that kind of song, it's like very commercial pop banger. But the good thing about Albina is that she can sing it really well. And we've seen that in the national final. She can really deliver the vocals. But the staging itself and the choreo, I don't really like the choreo because it's a bit weird and to me this is very gay as well. I don't say that in a bad term, but I don't know. I don't know. To me this is very gay, and the song itself is like Tick-Tock. Yeah, you know you're a bit like you're feeling it, but I don't know the staging the dance could be better. The staging has to be more impactful because the song and her vocals are. So I think the dancing is a bit of a letdown, and I hope they will improve it in Rotterdam.
Yeah, I'll say it's a solid pop song, and I'm worried a little bit it has the potential to drown between other upbeat songs because we have a good amount of fun pop songs, and I don't know if it would be as outstanding as some of the others. That being said, I think it's a good song. I don't want to bash on it too much. I want to be clear. I enjoy the song. It has some really cool moments. I do feel the big hook, memorable melody is missing, but when I genuinely enjoy it, when it's on, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And my score is purely based on that, what I think of the song. I know that's me, but my favorite part is lyrically when it's in Croatian, the song. They have like one part of the chorus, because once again, I said that about Norway earlier, the lyrics bore me to death. And it's in a language that I don't speak. You can say the exact same thing, but I don't get distracted, and it's less monotonous to me. So lyrically, I get stuck on that song a little bit. So when it's in Croatian, I'm like, okay, I'm not bothered by it. But I do like the song. I want to be clear. It's like this. They could have done more with it. I was hoping for a little bit more of a revamp that would have given it a little bit more of an oomph, I guess. But that being said, overall, it's a good song, and my score will probably reflect that it's not bad. I just think there are better songs out there. And gosh, I'm so bad today. It's really trying to say what I'm thinking. I should have put down notes on this. Sean, what do you think?
This one really surprised me from the get-go. I didn't watch Dora, so I didn't see any of the other songs. I will be honest with you, so I can't compare it to what else was in the running. But when I found out this one and I watched the performance, I was really pleasantly surprised that Croatia had gone for this. The performance is really good, I'm going to say. Arno, I know you're a dancer, so I can't really talk about the choreography and have any kind of better viewpoint than you, so I'm going to leave you to that. But I really enjoy. I like to think I'm a dancer, but I'm not. But like
you are under your club, you are a good dancer.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. I'm sure you are.
But I really enjoyed the performance. I think it's really strong. I think she's a very charismatic performer, and I think that's going to help her. It's a really catchy song in general. It's funky. I do like that it has a lot of different elements from different eras, it feels like to me. It's a bit of a throwback. So you've got like sort of 70s disco, a bit of funk, modern EDM and things like that all sort of thrown in, and it blends really well. And like Matt said, I do like the Croatian part as well. I do think that adds something to the song, and I believe they're keeping it. I was a little bit concerned when the music video came out and it was all in English. So, that does worry me. But as long as they keep that, I think it really adds interest to the song. But,
they said they would keep it. Yeah, that was the plan.
So I'm glad they're doing that, because it really does add a different element to it. And like Roy has said about other songs, it does break it up a little bit. But yeah, it's just a really pleasant pop song. Just makes me want to dance.
Roy, does it make you want to dance?
Oh, definitely it does. I'm an amazing dancer, so...
And humble. Don't forget you're humble.
Yes, I'm very humble, definitely. No, I really like this song. Like, from, I guess, the get-go, like, I didn't really watch the show properly either. I did watch all of the performances and all of the songs afterwards, and I did think this was the right decision by a landslide. Her live vocals are phenomenal. Like, just now, before we went live, I listened to the songs once more to really get them stuck in my head. And I accidentally played the live version, and I didn't notice until like the final bit of the song when it was nearly over. And I was like, what? How does she do that? And she's just such a bright aura on the stage, and you just immediately get gravitated towards it. And she has a lot of stage presence. She has a lot of swagger while performing the song, and it's a song that I keep coming back to, and I can't fully explain why, but I just keep wanting to listen to the song and just shout "Oh no" with her, with my beautiful voice that I'm not going to do right now. I kind of regret my score in a way, but yeah, I really like this song a lot.
Okay, so it's not too bad what we sang. Let's see, before we give our score, some of the people in the chat know when she needs to not rely on the backing vocal so much during the chorus. Povrat is saying the most beautiful woman of Eurovision 2021. Emma is saying totally agree with Matt. That's right. I much prefer the part in Croatian. Well, Sean says the same thing, so I can only take so much credit here. Iron DSGR says someone should tell Albina we've heard Tick-Tock in the ESC before. She comes second. Ouchie, ouch, ouch. Okay, so let's see what our scores are, and we'll go from there. And the first that was up was Arnold, so why don't you give us your score?
Very great song. I love it, and I can't wait to see it live again with a better staging. Maybe I'll give it a 9.
Oh wow! I didn't expect it to be that high. So I like the song. Again, out of all the upbeat songs, there may be others I gravitate towards more, but this is not to diss it. It's a solid, good song, and I'm giving it 7 points. Sean.
You've stolen my thunder ever so slightly there.
Okay.
Very solid, very enjoyable, very danceable, good song. I hope it does a respectable result in Rotterdam. 7.5.
I guess that is water language for Roy. If I were to give a score right now, I think I would give it a 9 as well, like I know. But back then I gave it an 8, so we have to stick with that, I guess. It's really enjoyable, and I love it more and more at each listen. And yeah, it surprises me how high it went in my rankings, I guess, throughout time.
All right, let's jump right into it. We don't have time for your guesses. So I'll give you the score for Croatia. Croatia's team score, Team United, is 7.16.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone surprised, disappointed, expected?
Maybe a tad low, but it's decent. I mean, a 7 out of 10. That's great.
It's a good. It's
quite a solid song, I think. I think no matter what you think of it, it's really well produced, and it's a really good example of the genre. So maybe that's reflected in the score. I don't know.
Okay. Well, this is what we have with Croatia at 7.16. I'll show you the scoreboard in just a moment, just to check in with everyone in here on camera. You guys are okay? We have 2 more songs, and I'm running over a little bit of time again. You're okay to stick around to finish those 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you talk too much.
Not to be, I know we're live, but I do need to very quickly use the facilities, as it were. So I may do that while you're talking through the next one, if that's okay.
Okay, then I'll make sure for the next. For the next one, let me take a look at this one. You were supposed to go third, so I'll make sure you go last.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the pee break. Apparently, according to Sean,
Oh, it's nothing to do with the song. It's nothing to do with the song.
it is Poland. All right, Sean, run. Poland waited almost until the last minute to give us any information about their 2021 entry. Ultimately, they decided to not send Alicia again, who was ready to represent the country in 2020 with Empires. Now, instead, the broadcaster sent with Rafał, and his single The Ride was chosen with the hope to take the country back to the finals, which would be the first time since 2017. The country joined the contest in 1994, by the way, and that was also the best result to date. A fantastic second place. They haven't matched or beat that, of course, until now. So they are still waiting on the first win. Poland in the second semifinal will be the sixth song of the night. Okay, let's go through this one by one. Roy, floor's yours. What do you think?
Let's first give a shout out to Yannick in the chat. I was cracking up at the Kimi Raikkonen comment. Like, yeah, he does look like Kimi Raikkonen. Yeah,
Who's that?
It's like a Formula One driver. You probably don't watch it. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't Formula One now.
It was funny to me. It's an okay song, I guess. It's just an enjoyable little song, but it just doesn't really do much. And I think the big thing for this that kind of works against it is that we have 2 or 3 other songs that could be categorized in the same category that do what they do a bit better. Like, it just goes and it just stays where it starts, kind of, and it never really goes anywhere other than where it is. And that can be very enjoyable for a lot of people, and I don't mind listening to it. It is just not out there enough, I think, to really grasp the audience and gain a lot of points. It's okay, I guess, and I can't really say much more about it. It's okay.
It's okay. No, you don't have to reinvent the wheel if there's nothing to do. Arno, what do you think?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder, Roy, because that's basically everything I wanted to say. But yeah, to me, like, vocally and musically, it's very flat. It doesn't really go anywhere. And like, among the bops we have this year at Eurovision, to me, this is the weakest. We have many songs with like 80s, 70s, 90s vibe this year, which is great because like this is very trendy in pop music in general. But I think with Poland, the problem is like they did it, but it's missing something, and I don't think the live version will set it out because he's not a professional singer. So, well, he could surprise us, but I don't know. I don't see it like wow us during the live performance. But it's still not a bad song. It's just a middle of the road song to me.
Okay. That's kind of like, as you said, Roy kind of in line with that. And it's very interesting that you said, because it's not appropriate to say, but I'm a cheap 80s whore. And that, I mean, I love 80s music. I loved it before it was a thing. I always loved 80s music. It's like my favorite decade in terms of music. There's just something about it. Give me 80s sound and the odds are I'm into it, even if it's shite. And The Ride, to me, is an average song, technically. It's more of a B-side to me more than anything. It does not stand out in its genre, right? 80s song. So that being said, I can't hate it because, again, 80s music. So I just get annoyed as I feel that they were banking on it. Like, they were banking on people like me that are going to like it because here's some 80s song, love it. And I'm like, yeah, I like it, but I don't think they tried hard enough. But I do appreciate it to a certain extent. Overall, I would call it okay in my book. Okay to good. But again, when I think of 80s music, I want really good retro, or at least I think it just felt a little half-ass. And I want full ass. That sounds kind of wrong.
It's getting late. We know.
I gotta rephrase that.
There we go. We have our moment.
But isn't that the morning where you live, Matt?
Well, it's now 1 o'clock almost, so it's not too bad. Again, not water. No, I'm kidding. I didn't like alcohol. No, but you know what I mean. It's just really kind of like that. So That's how I feel about the song. Sean, your thoughts?
Well, when I said it was nothing to do with the song to go to the toilet, I think I may have been lying a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you because look, retro synth pop, all over it. If it's great, if it works, if it's done well, it's really in right now. You know, Dua Lipa and all these artists are doing it really well. I don't think they're doing it very well here. I'll be honest with you. It just feels very just tired, very generic. There's not really any excitement. The lyrics are just wishy-washy. They're kind of, you know, very cliche. I don't think the singer and the song are right for each other. I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's been put together without much thought. I'm sure he's a great performer. I've watched the live performance of this song, and he does actually do fairly well with it, all things considered. But it's like, what were you saying earlier? Putting lipstick on a pig. It's kind of very similar to that. It just seems doomed to be completely forgotten in the semi-finals. To be honest with you, I'm sure he's a very competent performer, and I think if he had the right song, I think he could do well, and I think he could really perform something. But this it ain't it. It just ain't it for me. Just not for me.
It's just, I usually try to have like some person who's like the big supporter of it, but we don't really have that here. But that is okay because we're only 4 individuals. There's an entire team that will give scores. But before we get to that, let me see some comments here. Midlife Crisis Dude tries out for Men in Black via song. Okay, I think that's not a compliment. Am I the only one who thinks this song is similar to Magic Rude, the chorus? To Magic Rude? I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna be so rude. That's song.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Poland promised to take me on the ride of my life. They lied. So I feel at least the chat and I were kind of on the same page. Let's give our scores, for crying out loud. So first up in our running, who was it? Roy, what's your score?
Also like yesterday, was it yesterday? No, a couple of days ago there was like this little in the dark kind of concert thingy where he performed his song live, and like the song is very wordy, so he kind of struggled already a little bit, even though it was a tad stripped back. It's an okay song. I don't mind it, but I don't get excited by it either, so I just gave it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Arno, your score.
Yeah. It's not a bad song, but yeah, I'm not that excited, and I wish they could have done better with the 80s vibe, so I gave it a 5.
5. Okay. I'm with Roy. It is. I enjoy it for what it is because again, cheap 80s whore. But it's if you really want to get a high score from me, you need to try a little harder. 6 points from me as well. Sean.
Look, I'm sure there's people who do like this song and appreciate it for what it is, but for me, I just want to get off the ride. 3.5.
3.5 from Sean. So, based on our scores, this is not looking good, but once again, there is a team out there who may disagree with us. Are you ready for the team score? Poland's score from Team United is 5.47. So, okay, Sean, as the lowest score giver, you think that's about right? What you thought was going to happen?
I can understand that. I mean, it's a very it's kind of average. You know what I mean? It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I sit there and hate every single second of it. Unlike another entry this year, which shall not be named. But yeah, I can see why it's got like a 5-ish score because it is just sort of very average and middle of the road for a lot of people.
Yeah. When I look at this at the chat, 4, 6, 4, 6.5, 4.5, 3.5, 3, 4.5, 7.5. So as you can see, they're kind of like, so when you look at it, if we were to take that as an average, I think it would kind of be where Team United is at. So not too much of a surprise. We will look in just a moment where it lands in the team score overall. But for now, let's jump to one more country on our list, and that is Latvia. And with Latvia, man, Samanta Tina, she tried to go to Eurovision like 28 times now, at least for many years. And then she finally wins the Latvian national final. Then we get cancelled. And thankfully, though, the broadcaster gave her the green light for 2021. Now, The Moon is Rising is a song for Rotterdam. Now, Latvia first took part in the year 2020, not 2020, that was last year, 2000, I meant. And they won the contest in 2002, but haven't had managed a good result in a little while. Last grand final appearance was in 2016. Latvia will perform in the second semifinal from position 15. So, are you guys ready to talk Latvia? Let's see. Arno, go first, please. Start out.
Yes, I really like the vibe of the song. I didn't really fell in love with Still Breathing, and I think the drop of The Moon is Rising is less messier than Still Breathing. Still Breathing was just like very, very wild, and I think she polished it a little bit. It's still wild, The Moon is Rising, but it's the wild I prefer, and I think it's the wild that maybe people will like less struggle to like get and as a one shot because Still Breathing was really boom, 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 and The Moon is Rising is boom, boom, boom to me. Yeah, just very like vocals and gestures, but maybe my message gets delivered. And she gives crazy vocals, so I really, really don't see it being a bad performance. She will like deliver it really well. And I think it's a bit like Malta, female empowerment song, very in your face with the lyrics. She's a bit like savage in her lyrics, but I think she's even more owning it than Malta, because Malta is like more sultry and more chill, and Samanta is really wild. She gets into it. She's like, I'm a woman, get done with it, I'm the queen. And that's it.
I'm the cream?
And I like
I'm the
it,
queen,
and I
sorry.
like it.
I said I'm the cream.
No, the queen.
The queen, I got it now. I'm like,
No,
the cream of the crop?
No, you've been saying ass, whore, and many other words. No, this is turning into a whole other dimension.
No, I didn't mean that. I thought you said cream. I thought the cream of the crop. That's what I thought you meant. No. I don't know where your mind went. This is not what I meant.
Okay, well, that's my opinion. She's the queen.
That's you, not me. Sean, what do you think?
I think I was speaking earlier about Belgium and their niche that they found in Eurovision, and I think Latvia have really found theirs, which is really messy, bassy music, and I love them for it. Good God. I do think last year was better. I did really enjoy Still Breathing. It did predict the events that were to come, so I don't know, maybe she's an all-powerful being and we need to bow down to Samanta Tina. Who knows? This is different. I was a little bit underwhelmed, I have to say, when it was revealed, just because I think I was expecting something a bit more powerful, a bit different, but still very Samanta. But it does grab your attention. It is different this year. It will help in Eurovision to grab people's attention, and I think she will, because she is a hell of a performer. God, she's got some pipes on her, and she's really charismatic, and she's going to give this everything she's got, obviously, because she's been trying for this for so many years. So I think that's really going to help them out on stage, and I think as long as the performance is strong, which I have a strong suspicion it will be, I think this could be a surprise. It could. I don't know if it will qualify. It's way too difficult to predict, but you never know.
Yeah. So Latvia falls in the same boat as Russia to me, where I was like, I can figure these songs out. Do I like them, or I'm annoyed with them, right? So I had to listen to them a few times. With Russia, I was like, okay, I get it. I can see it. With Latvia, I'm still struggling. I'm kind of more like, okay. And I think ultimately where I get stuck on is this whole ba-da-da, 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 ba, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba. I'm like, okay. And I'm all about female empowerment music, it's great. But I need more than just saying, well, it's female empowerment, therefore I have to like it. And that is what I'm struggling a little bit. I'm just getting more annoyed the more I listen to the song. I think it's trying a bit too hard to be like edgy or cool. And the self-proclaimed queen I always call it, seems a little bit put on at times. But Samanta Tina's voice is outstanding. And even though there were some cool moments where her voice can shine, it's not executed well, and suddenly it feels like she's shouting, and then it takes me out of it because she can really, really sing so well. But maybe when she does it live, it's a little bit more like, whoa. But in the studio version, I get more like, stop yelling at me, woman. So that is kind of like, well, I get stuck as well. It's all right. It's raw, a little bit raw on the edges, I guess. It's not one of the songs where I'm like, ooh, the moon is rising is on. It's more like, so yeah, that's the moon is rising, by the way. It's just more like, I kind of dismiss it, not like in a rude way. I leave it on, but I just can't get into it a whole lot. But was it you, Sean, who said that? I forgot who said it. But maybe because with her voice, she can really, really do something live with it. So I'm not completely discounting it, but just based on the song itself, I'm just kind of more like, I'm in between. That is basically how I feel about it. And how about you, Roy?
Well, yeah, I love myself a good trap song. Like, the start of this song, the beat that is driving under it could straight be off some sort of Kendrick Lamar album. I could totally see him spitting some bars on it. Then we go towards the first kind of drop, and it's already kind of great. I do agree with Matt that the na 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 makes it a little less good for me, but I really like the drop. But the best thing about this entire thing is that second drop. That second drop is the best drop we've ever heard in Eurovision by a landslide. It is so good. The bass they put just before the drop, and then there's nothing. And you get completely dropped down, and you go back into the beat again, and it just, every single time I listen to it, I'm like, woo! That was lovely, and I just I love listening to that part. And you have to listen to the full song to get to that perfect best part of the song. So that's already 2 minutes you have to listen to it, and then the amazing drop. And I really, really like it. And I do also understand that there is some issues, like it could be a bit tough to stage a song like this, and the na 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 part, or like the pa pa pa, I don't really know what she's singing, is a bit off-putting for me as well. But yeah, there's so many things in the song that I do like, and especially that second drop, like, love that.
Okay. So some words of encouragement here. Let's see what some of the people in the chat are saying. H-World, it's saying it's an overkill with her voice at the start. So, okay, that is fair. Matt, I absolutely agree. I always love the ones that agree with me. Paul says, the moon is going to smash you in the face. That would be a bad. I don't want the moon to smash me in the face because I'd be a little bit.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I hope he's talking metaphorically here. That's all I'm saying. Yes, it's trying too hard, and it's too much. It's exhausting to listen to. Different is not always good. So it's a little bit lukewarm in the chat. So let's see if our scores are equally lukewarm, especially Team United overall. So with no further ado, Arno, what did you give it?
Well, when I did my review, it sounded like I didn't like the song, but I actually do really like the song. Like the vibe and the trap music, this is my thing. And as a dancer, that's the kind of song where we do like the competitions, the mega cruise. That's the kind of song we do dance along. I really like it. I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm shocked right now. I didn't think that like it sounded like it's going to be way lower than that.
No,
so
I
I'm like,
really like it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, you're misleading. No, that's fine. So 8.5. So off to a good start for Latvia, Sean.
I did prefer last year. I know we're not trying to compare years and 2020, 2021. I can't really move past that. It does feel a bit disappointing to me, but it is a good song, and I do enjoy listening to it. I think it is a little bit too messy and not structured enough. Just a little bit more of a tweak and make it a bit more structured, I think would work well for it. But I gave it a 7. I do enjoy the song, and I think she's going to do well with it for herself.
So we all agreed on the comments, and then all of a sudden your scores are like, just kidding, I like it. I'm like, thanks a lot for making me like a fool here. Literally, what's up, you fools? So I am sticking to what I said. It is not my favorite, and I didn't take that into consideration either. I also preferred last year's entry, but it didn't affect my score. I just think it's right down smack in the middle in terms of quality, so I'm giving it 5 points because I'm consistent. No, I'm not. Go ahead, right? I just like to. I like to tease my people. You have a right. I guess maybe I'm too harsh now. Like I actually feel bad right now about my score.
I mean, everybody's got their own score, I guess. Yeah, I really like this. A thing about me is that I rarely add Eurovision music to my playlists, but this is one of the songs that actually made it to one of my playlists, and I really enjoy it. Now, I still think there are like issues. The live performance still needs to slay, and like 6 people on the stage, can you perform with that energy? Can you convey the message that you want to convey? And there are issues here and there, and so I gave it an 8.5 as well.
I'm the bad guy here. Thanks a lot. No, that's good. So maybe there is hope for Latvia after all, and I'm overruled here. So I have to ask for the last time. Then, what do you guys think Latvia's score is?
I think it's very biased, like 6.6.
6.8.
I'm sorry. Did you say 6.6, Arno?
Yeah, and Sean
6.6. Sean 6.8, and Roy.
I'll go 7.0.
Okay. So Latvia's score is 6.22, actually. So it's lower than all of you thought. It is, once again, a polarizing entry. It's a lot of high scores. Not a lot. Good, decent amount of high scores, I should say. And a lot of people did not like it. So I think they're more dissenters than supporters, I think. And that dragged it down a little bit. But when people like it, they like it. So so it's that kind of song, which always is not the best or the worst place to be in, because you'd rather have people who love it than just always be in the like okay area, because then nobody votes for it. So this is what we have. So let's take a look at the scores so far. Are you guys ready? Here we go. So San Marino is in third place, didn't quite crack the top, but still a really good result. Croatia in 14th, Latvia 23rd, and Poland currently in the bottom 5, but we still got a few songs to go, in 26th place. I'm going to start with you, Sean. Your thoughts on the ranking for so far?
I just think it's great to see San Marino so high. I know we've kind of gotten used to it this year, but look at that. Malta and San Marino in the top 3.
Yeah.
Weird.
Who'd have ever thought that? I mean, it's going to be. I mean, Eurovision 2022 is going to be in like a tent somewhere, surely. Like at this, the way this is going. I'm surprised Latvia was so low in one respect, but then I guess there are people that it really grated. So I can kind of understand that, and I think a couple of surprises here and there across the board, but generally, I think it's quite a fair ranking.
Okay, Roy, what do you think? I think you're on mute, Roy. You need to unmute yourself. You fool.
You are correct. It was the final one and I messed up. Oh no. I think it's funny that like Sean is like, oh, we see Malta and San Marino in the top 3, and then literally below it is Lithuania, and he didn't even like talk about it as if it is normal to see Lithuania that high.
It's not. Lithuania's got more of a talent pool though.
True, but like it's not something we see very often. Yeah, I really
unmute yourself. Wait. You need to unmute yourself. I'm going to bring it back up again.
I really like to see Lithuania do very well, and I'm a bit surprised with a few entries, but overall I think the scoreboard is quite reflective of what we've been talking about. Ireland being so high is really cool. Didn't expect that. There are a few low ones that I personally don't agree with, but hey, that's why we are with multiple people. So yeah.
Is he muted?
I don't know.
I am muted. I
thought my internet had given up again. I was getting worried. But...
Yeah.
No, I had issues. My cable came unloose. So I think that.
Yeah.
So
this is just every Zoom call ever.
I know,
and you
right?
just called me an amateur for muting myself. Well, there we go.
Arno, what are your thoughts?
I'm really happy to see San Marino up there as well, and Ireland also. I didn't expect Ireland to be that high, but I think Croatia is a bit low. It's still a good ranking, but I've seen many countries have like a 7.123 grade in that, so that makes it like middle of the table, but still being like a good song. But overall, yeah, I think it's a very accurate ranking and reflects what the community thinks as well. So yeah, I guess we won't be cancelled. Let's hope.
Yeah. Not yet. And I realized what the issue was. I used the wrong mouse. I had two mouse, and I was like moving it and thinking I'm clicking it, and then I didn't really click it. I thought it was the cable.
Yeah. Good excuse.
Well, it is a true excuse, but it's still an excuse nevertheless. But yeah, so I kind of agree with it. I'm pleasantly. Let me bring it up one more time because it's fun. Of course, seeing Malta and San Marino so high up the tiny countries is very fascinating. I'm surprised about Ireland. It's a good surprise in my view that it's so high. I'm slightly surprised Romania is this low, even though it's not like my favorite. But I thought it was way more popular. I thought I was the Debbie Downer here. Norway is and Norway. I thought, man, Norway's so polarizing. I guess so. But I think it's going to do better than people think. But other than that, I think it is slightly, I think I'm okay with all of that. Granted, we got a few more songs, so things can change easily. So, but that's where we're at. And tomorrow we'll have the last group of songs that will be added, and then we'll have a winner. Will Malta stay on top, or will they be dethroned by one of the remaining entries? Only one way to find out. So we're already running over time, so I'm just going to do real quick. Any final questions in the chat? Let me know at ESC United your thoughts. One saying, yes, Matt, Norway will do okay. I think that person agrees with me. Kakio is saying Spain, 0 points. Boring song. My dog died of boredom.
Oh my god.
That's a bit harsh.
Good God.
Oh wow.
Poor dog. Oh, my heart goes out to you.
Why?
Ireland has lost its capital letter. Thank you for calling me out. I saw that as well. Nobody on my team brought it up. Of course, someone in the chat had to. Thank you very much. I realized that as well.
Well, we're not allowed to question the supreme leader, so that's why we didn't say anything.
Supreme leader. Oh, Portugal last, someone's saying. Are you guys surprised Portugal is last?
No.
Not really.
No, I can understand why not that many people necessarily love it. Yeah. Not surprised.
But we still got a few more songs. There could be, like, someone else could end up lower. You never know. Keep in mind, the order is not like predetermined in like some kind of strategic way that I'm going to have the winner or the last place next. It was really just kind of how it ended up, mostly random. No, I do, because I don't like this whole because I'm a big opponent of the producer determined running order. So I'm trying to stay away from that as well to kind of get like it.
You're also a hypocrite with a lot of things, like your scores. So I can believe
my
that,
scores.
Yeah.
What? Why am I hypocritical, bitch?
No, there is drama. There is drama right now. Okay.
Okay, I know we're just gonna sip our drink.
No, let's kidding. What do you think? I'm off mark.
I'm not saying off mark. I just think, you know what Eurovision's like. There's a lot of songs that you enjoy for no particular reason, or a lot of songs that you sort of hate for no particular reason. You know how it is. You know, we're all the same. We've done it. We slate a song and then give it 8 points. That's what we are. We're fickle creatures. We're strange like that.
Wow, philosophical.
I don't know. I like to think I'm pretty consistent, but I wasn't the one who gave like a criticism and then gives 8 points.
Not tonight.
No, seriously. I mean, in all honesty, though, I do think that we all, ourselves included, the community, we tend to be it's often a lot of negativity, and I prefer to look at the bright side of things. And sometimes maybe you think my scores are too high, but I think most songs have redeeming quality. Now, if you have a year and year kind of thing, I would go super low as well. But those songs are really rare, and I do think even songs I don't care for, like Portugal or Italy this year, they're not all bad. There are things that are really, really good about it. They're just not for me, so I cannot give low scores. And I'd rather give the benefit of the doubt than being super harsh. And that is usually my approach.
Mhm.
And I think that people put a lot of work and effort into these songs, and they put thought behind it. And here I am, I'm like, oh, I don't like it, it's boring, and it's always a very easy thing to just take them apart. And I do think that most songs have redeeming qualities. That, at least my opinion. And other people clearly have different. No, I'm not talking about you guys. Like, some people just feel like I don't like it, I give it low scores.
There are a lot of people in the chat I see where it's just like 0.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't. It's got to be really, really bad to like.
Yeah.
It's got to be like, I have to find something like offensive to me, like offensively bad to be like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's like any outstanding terrible song this year. Like, my lowest scores I think is 3.5, and like after that it goes to like a 5 already. So like, I think overall this year's been quite decent to good or great even, and I don't think there are many bad songs at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Just songs that are not for me, and I think there will never be a year where I love all 40 songs or however many there are in the running. So it is absolutely a fair thing. And keep in mind, everyone, these are our thoughts and opinions. It's okay to disagree, because ultimately we respect and love all of the artists. And if we don't share your taste in music, that's okay. That is okay. That's the beauty about Eurovision. It's this thing where we come together and we like the song or we don't. Ultimately, I would never be mad if a song wins that I don't like. I may be like, I'm missing something, but I would never be upset about it. It's just not how it goes. But that's what we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Arnaud. And thank you, Roy, for joining me today. I hope it was fun. And if not, then whoop-de-doo, whatever. I will be back tomorrow with a new group to review the rest of the songs. I want to thank everyone for being patient. It was a long video, a long stream, but it was totes worth it. So have a good day, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Okay? Bye.
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 Bye.